The scream cut through the church like a knife. The entire congregation froze. The choir stopped singing mid-note. Children stopped fidgeting. Even the ceiling fans seemed too loud in the sudden silence. Pastor Daniel stood motionless with his hands suspended in the air. Before him stood Evelyn Okafor, the richest woman in the church. Her breathing was heavy. Her eyes were wide with fear. Not annoyance. Not disrespect. Fear. Pure fear. The pastor slowly lowered his hand. Evelyn. She immediately stepped backward. I'm sorry, Pastor. The congregation erupted into whispers. She did it again. Did you see her face? Something is wrong. I've always said she's hiding something. Evelyn lowered her eyes. Without another word, she turned and walked back toward her seat. Every step felt heavier than the last. She could feel hundreds of eyes following her. Judging her. Questioning her. Speculating. The whispers continued throughout the service. Some people tried to focus on the sermon. Others couldn't. Because this mystery had haunted the church for years. Why would a woman who loved God so much refuse something as simple as a pastor touching her forehead? Nobody knew. Or at least nobody thought they knew. If you're already trying to guess Evelyn's secret, leave your prediction in the comments right now. By the end of this story, you may discover that things are not always what they seem. The moment the service ended, discussions erupted everywhere. Outside the church entrance, small groups formed immediately. I don't care what anyone says, one woman declared. Normal people don't behave like that. Her friend nodded. Exactly. An elderly man overheard them. You should be careful. Careful about what? Judging people. The woman crossed her arms. Then explained her behavior. The old man sighed. I cannot. Exactly. But not understanding something doesn't mean the worst rumors are true. The woman looked unconvinced. Unfortunately, gossip had become almost impossible to stop. For years, theories had spread through the church. Some believed Evelyn belonged to a secret cult. Others claimed her wealth came from dark powers. A few insisted she carried a mysterious mark beneath the scarf she always wore. Every year the rumors grew. Every year the stories became worse. Yet Evelyn never defended herself. Never argued. Never explained. She simply remained silent. That silence only fueled the speculation. Later that afternoon, Evelyn sat alone inside her luxury SUV. The church parking lot slowly emptied around her. She didn't start the engine. She simply sat there. Her hands trembled slightly. Then tears filled her eyes. Lord, she whispered. How much longer? A memory flashed through her mind. A scream. Running feet. Fire. Pain. She squeezed her eyes shut. No. The memory vanished. But the ache remained. After several minutes, she finally drove home. The large mansion she lived in stood in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the city. Most people looked at the house and saw success. They saw wealth. They saw comfort. They saw privilege. What they didn't see was loneliness. What they didn't see was pain. What they didn't see was a secret she had carried for nearly 30 years. Inside the house, her housekeeper greeted her. Welcome home, madam. Thank you, Grace. You seem troubled. Evelyn forced a smile. I'm all right. Grace knew better. She had worked for Evelyn for years. She understood that smile. It was the smile Evelyn used whenever she was hurting. After Grace left, Evelyn walked upstairs. She entered her bedroom and locked the door. Slowly, she stood before a mirror. Her eyes stared back at her. Then her hand reached for her headscarf. For a moment she hesitated. Finally, she removed it. She stared silently at her reflection. Then tears rolled down her cheeks. Why can't I forget? Meanwhile, across town, Pastor Daniel sat inside his office. He couldn't stop thinking about what happened during the service. Something felt wrong. Not with Evelyn. With the way people viewed her. He had counseled trauma survivors before. He knew fear when he saw it. And what he saw in Evelyn's eyes wasn't rebellion. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't pride. It was terror. A knock interrupted his thoughts. "Come in." His assistant entered. "Pastor, some members would like to speak with you." "What about?" The assistant hesitated. "Evelyn." Pastor Daniel sighed. "Send them in." Moments later, 3 church members entered. One of them spoke immediately. "Pastor, we need to discuss Evelyn." "What about her?" "We are concerned." "Concerned about what exactly?" The woman exchanged glances with the others. "Her behavior." The pastor leaned forward. "Be specific." "She keeps refusing prayer." "She receives prayer." "You know what I mean." The room fell silent. Finally another man spoke. "People are talking." "I know. They think something is wrong." Pastor Daniel looked at him carefully. "What do you think?" The man hesitated. "I don't know." "Then why assume the worst?" Nobody answered. The pastor continued. "Has Evelyn ever harmed anyone?" "No." "Has she stolen from anyone?" "No." "Has she stopped serving God?" "No." "Has she stopped helping people?" "No." "Then perhaps instead of judging her, we should try understanding her." The room became uncomfortable. One woman shook her head. "Pastor, some secrets are dangerous." The pastor responded quietly. "And some secrets are painful." Nobody had an answer for that. After they left, Pastor Daniel stared out the window. Something told him there was more to this story. Much more. Over the following weeks, the mystery only deepened. Every Sunday the same pattern repeated. People prayed. People worshipped. People celebrated. And whenever forehead prayers happened, Evelyn found a way to avoid them. The congregation noticed everything. One Sunday after service, 2 younger women approached her. "Good afternoon, Ma." Evelyn smiled warmly. "Good afternoon." One of them hesitated. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course." The young woman glanced around nervously. "Why do you always move away when pastors pray?" Evelyn's smile faded slightly. "I'm sorry." "Did we offend you?" "No." "Then why?" For several seconds, Evelyn remained silent. Finally she spoke. "Some wounds are difficult to explain." The women exchanged confused looks. "What does that mean?" Evelyn simply smiled. "One day you may understand." Then she walked away. Their curiosity only grew stronger. Months passed. Then one day the church announced a major revival program. Guest ministers were invited. Hundreds of worshippers registered. Excitement spread throughout the congregation. Many believed miracles would happen. Nobody realized the revival would finally force long-hidden secrets into the light. The church was overflowing on the first night. Every seat was occupied. Extra chairs filled the aisles. The atmosphere buzzed with expectation. Powerful worship shook the building. People danced. People prayed. People cried. As the evening progressed, the guest minister began praying for individuals. One after another, people came forward. Some fell to their knees. Some wept openly. Some lifted their hands toward heaven. Then Evelyn stood. Immediately dozens of people noticed. Whispers spread through the sanctuary. "She's going. Watch. This should be interesting." Slowly she walked toward the altar. Her heart pounded. Her palms felt cold. The guest minister smiled warmly. "My sister." Evelyn nodded. He lifted his hand. Instantly everything changed. Her breathing quickened. The church disappeared. The altar disappeared. The voices disappeared. Suddenly she wasn't standing in church anymore. She was somewhere else. Somewhere dark. Somewhere terrifying. A scream echoed through her memory. A child crying. Running footsteps. Flames. Pain. Fear. Her entire body trembled. No. The minister looked confused. My sister. No. The word escaped louder than she intended. The congregation gasped. She stumbled backward. Tears filled her eyes. Please. The minister lowered his hand. Please what? Her voice broke. Please don't touch my forehead. The room became completely silent. Not a whisper. Not a movement. Nothing. For several seconds, nobody knew what to do. Then Evelyn turned and ran. She rushed down the aisle, pushed through the doors, and disappeared into the night. The congregation remained frozen. Pastor Daniel watched everything. His heart sank. Because now he was certain. Evelyn wasn't hiding evil. She was hiding pain. Deep pain. The kind that never truly leaves. And for the first time, he became determined to uncover the truth. Not for gossip. Not for curiosity. But because he believed someone had carried a burden alone for far too long. What he didn't know was that the truth behind Evelyn's fear would change the entire church forever. And when that truth finally emerged, many people would be forced to confront something far more dangerous than secrets.